Hey y'all, welcome back to Fishing for Men. We are headed into our second episode around gratitude today. The question that we will be answering is, how do I create an attitude of gratitude? And so with me in the room tonight, I have to my right,
George.
Hey guys, Cole's here.
And Cody's here.
So I want to start off because gratitude is not necessarily just a biblical thing. Harvard Medical School actually published an article in 2024 talking about the benefits of gratitude. And I find this interesting because it's 2024 and gratitude's been around for quite some time. But they actually include so many benefits to gratitude. Things like well-being, social well-being, better sleep quality, lower depression, favorable markers for even heart health. And I found this really interesting. I actually listen to a pastor a lot of the times who says, I love seeing the world catch up to what Christians already knew through the Bible.
Ooh,
and
nice.
It just seems like this is another one of these examples where it's like, oh, hey, like, hello, it's been around for a while. But I just want to ask the question of these, like, are any of these a surprise?
I got to pause first and let you know that you're listening to Billy over there. I don't know if he introduced
Oh,
himself.
hey guys, it's Billy.
Oh, yeah.
And no, actually for me, it's not a surprise because I'd like to live with an attitude of gratitude, and I see these benefits in my life.
Yeah.
Personally. So it's really not a surprise to me.
That's so true. I think you're just like the warm fire from the camp that's just like glowing and warm and happy all the time and expressing gratitude. And I think like you're the campfire. You're the gratitude guy.
I appreciate
I love
that.
that.
I appreciate that.
Not a surprise though. I don't know. I was like scrolling through the article, and it was interesting because the author quoted and said, but what's remarkable about gratitude is that just about anyone can practice it. Anyone can recognize what's around them and express thanks to others for what's good in their life. And I feel like that was interesting to have someone else realize, like, oh, anybody can practice gratitude. Like, that's so true. It's not just for specific people.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really cool. They actually, this study was actually quite large. I think it was almost like 80,000 people that they actually ended up going to study. And then they went back
huge sample.
And then went back and looked like 4 years later and reviewed all the documents from like when they died and studied all of these. I just found this, it was really fascinating just to kind of walk through. I think the biggest one was the 9% reduction in mortality risk. Now, it's not huge, but like it's almost 10% extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just for being grateful.
Yeah.
So it's
Great
interesting, when you're not grateful, you're paying the gratuity tax.
Right.
Does insurance cover it?
No. So does insurance cover it?
People will look for an excuse.
For sure. Yeah,
If I tell
absolutely.
my health provider that I'm very grateful, he'll be like, "Oh, you get that much more?"
Yeah, that is not
That would
a
be
checkbox
awesome.
in the insurance questionnaire. How grateful are you?
Yeah. Do you
Wow.
smoke? No. Are you grateful? No, that's not.
Yeah. Please list out all the ways in which you express your gratitude. So the question if this is such a big thing and it has such incredible benefits, it seems like it just makes you live a better life, quite honestly. How do I, if I'm listening to this, maybe I don't intentionally practice, maybe there's things that I'm thinking about, like, okay, maybe I do practice gratitude, but like intentionally practicing, how do I actually create an attitude of gratitude? And then, you kind of already touched about it, but like, what does this produce in us when you start to do this? And so the kind of the Bible verse that I want to anchor in on is 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18, which says, rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Anything hit you just as I read that?
The pray continually.
What does that look like? Because, like, dude, I got a job.
What?
Like, how do I do that? I can't pray for 24 hours.
No, but I think especially nowadays when you work from home a lot,
Sure.
a lot of people do, you can easily sit in your thoughts. And to me, my thoughts are actually being listened to by God. So I feel like all my thoughts are actually prayers to him. That's how I see it. So I feel like I am continually praying.
Yeah.
Unless I'm having like these conversations.
I think it's interesting that the adjectives are always,
Mm-hmm.
continually, and in all circumstance. And that all of that is God's will for you. It's interesting that it's not just be gratitude during this time.
Yeah. Please rejoice while you're at church on Sunday. Please pray in the mornings before you go off to work. Like, doesn't say at very specific times.
Yeah.
That is the way, like, you should just be, which is really interesting. The context for this verse is many Jews and Gentiles had come to know Jesus, and they'd formed a church in Thessalonica, and they had started claiming that this new king, Jesus, he's being accused of defying Caesar, and it was resulting in persecution. And so Paul learns of their flourishing in the church in Thessalonica despite this persecution. And so he writes this celebration of their faithfulness and the challenge of this group. And despite being persecuted through all of this, they continue to grow. And then at the end of the book, Paul kind of gives these final instructions to the church, which I think is interesting. So now with that context, so not only is it hard enough just to rejoice, always pray, continue, and give thanks no matter what in a regular life, like talk about having to look over both shoulders every day. And if somebody's like, hey, are you following this guy like Jesus or something? Your answer is now potentially life-threatening. That's a little like unsettling.
Yeah.
And so how in that, like with difficult things going on, like what does that look like? How do I rejoice always when, at least in their mindset, they could potentially die? But even for us, money issues come, marriage things come about, kid challenges. How do I rejoice through those?
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tough.
I think it starts with rejoicing before that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, am I doing that before those things hit?
Well, and I think especially if it's like the first time something happens, like if it's the first time you're in a financial bind, you're like, God, when are you going to show up? But then if it's like the 5th or 6th or 20th time you're in a financial bind, you're like, God, you provided last time. I know you're going to this time. And rejoice in that and continue to pray because you know he's going to come through.
The word self-aware keeps coming into mind. Being self-aware in every circumstance, the pre-stage of a circumstance to come. Right now, we're in a season where my wife's mom is sick. And something that I hear her praying, I hear her mom praying, and even I'm praying is, God, no, even though I have this hope or this desire for this to turn out a specific way, even if the outcome is healing, even if the outcome is death, even if the outcome is illness that lasts for the rest of her life and pain and suffering, you are still good. I'm still thankful for you, or I'm still grateful for who you are and what you've done. And so just being self-aware of that, even before the circumstance come.
Sure.
What I'm thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. The self-awareness, I think, is really interesting. Because if I think about maybe even your example, Cole, of, man, I've put myself in these situations, or maybe there's a pattern, but I don't see the pattern. But there's a pattern that happened, and now I'm just using God as a utility. It's a slippery slope to get into. And so how do I make sure I'm not using God of like, oh, you're my escape route?
Yeah.
Which is super easy because he can do those things. These are not easy whenever it's like life is bearing down on you.
There's definitely a certain element of obedience
Yeah.
In practice, I would say too.
practice.
Yeah.
Obedience and
Yeah.
practice.
What's another interesting part about these particulars, this is actually at the end. So he writes a celebration letter to these people. Why do you think he includes this as the final instructions to this church under persecution? Of all things he could
I
say,
never thought about that.
these are the things that he leaves them with.
You're reading them, and I put myself in their position
Yeah.
of like, I'm fearing for my life. And so maybe they have doubts, maybe they have fears. And I just imagine myself, if I'm them and what I hear is someone directing gratitude towards me, then that's going to help. That's going to lift me up. That's going to help me be able to rejoice. That's going to help me be able to pray. And so he's expressing gratitude to them at the end as their final instructions to just kind of go, good job.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's tough now, but you're doing it.
Yeah.
And y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, the Bible is like the Bible's like your ultimate guide to life. So this really portrays life, right? Like you have your worldly things and you know the repercussions of doing those things. And at the end of it, follow God and like, that's it. Rejoice always, pray continually. Like that's what we need to do to do the right thing. So to me, like it's the life guide and Paul wrote it.
Sure.
In that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been really stuck on this topic of, not stuck. It's actually been really good. About worship.
Are you thankful for it?
I am. I actually am. Mainly because it's coming out of the book of Leviticus. I think I mentioned that on the last one. Man, what an incredible book. And I know that's not the popular opinion about that book.
Are you sure?
But it's about, at least in the commentary that I'm reading, he frames it as their way of worshiping God. And then back to what you talked about, George, like they're in a really tough spot. And then even off of your comments, Cole, like even more than a handbook, what this verse says to me is, despite what you're facing, you have a God who is good and he wants to commune with you.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be in your presence. And I feel like those are the things that at least either helps you see it or invites him into like, hey, you're with me in, rejoicing, praying. You have direct access to this big, almighty, powerful, sovereign God. He is way bigger than any persecution that you're going to deal with. Not to say it's hard. It's difficult and it stinks, but he's bigger than that.
Right.
Therefore, you still have stuff to be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
You have people you're in community with. You have food on the table. You have, breath in your lungs. Like there's always things that you can find to be grateful for in those. So with that in mind, what can we learn from that and bring it into 2025?
I was reading the article that you started with. So I'm going to circle back to that for a second.
Go for it.
And at the end, they write, these are some questions that can help spark gratitude in your life. They're really good. I love them. I think they're great. I think we can do a bit better. And I'll share a couple of them. Like what happened today that was good? What am I taking for granted that I can be thankful for? And then which people in my life am I grateful for? And while I loved all of those, I wonder what it would look like to spin those and put God. Like, where do I see God in my life right now? What can I give gratitude to God, even though I'm in the midst of XYZ? And so,
yeah. The question that came to mind as you were reading those is, what do I feel I'm entitled to?
Digging deep.
Do I feel I'm entitled to a roof over my head, to food on the table, to clothes on my back, to air conditioning, to a refrigerator, to running water? Like, probably.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think where we live, I would even say, in Texas and in North Texas, like, I think we come to expect those.
Right.
Yeah.
You could even go further with that of like, maybe we've got a listener out there who's single and they're like, I feel entitled to a wife, or I feel entitled to a husband.
Yeah.
I feel entitled to love, acceptance, a job, a promotion. Because hey, you were talking about we're entitled to AC.
Yeah.
We went to Tennessee, came back, we left it not off, but at like 74. Came in, turned it all the way down. 2 hours later, why is it still hot? I was so mad. I was like, if this AC is broken.
Texas problems.
Yep.
Gosh, no kidding.
But yeah, I think there's something to that. I think we talked about this in the last episode too, but like just being grateful for the small things, the little things that we take for granted every day. That like, oh man, how cool is that?
It really is the small things. Like think about just the house you live in and the little. I like to think about the little upgrades that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I like the blinds. I got rid of the regular blinds and got plantation blinds a long time ago, but I don't sit and look at it and be like, man, I'm so thankful that I had the money to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like God gave me that ability. Like it really is the small minuscule things that you brush over so quickly in life that we do need to have more gratitude for.
Absolutely. Especially in this age of consumerism that we live in, where we are being groomed that everything should be on our time whenever we want it.
Mm-hmm.
We should have every streaming service and access to all the shows and everything. And I've been sitting on this question for a while of, do we take that attitude into church on Sunday? And do we treat our service as something to be consumed rather than a place for us to come and offer something to God?
Yeah.
Man.
Like, am I going to church and am I looking for my fix?
Or like looking for the perfect worship set.
Yeah.
Instead of just appreciating the actual music that is coming off that stage.
Or even, hey God, I'm coming in here and I'm going to worship because you deserve it.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to you, not it coming back to me.
I know that we have listeners that sit there on Sundays that are like, oh, you're going to talk about money again? I'm going to check out.
Mm-hmm.
But every one of those messages have something pointed right at you.
Yeah. So,
and pointed at me too.
Like, it's just something I've been really thinking about.
That's a
Do
great
I
point.
approach church as something to be consumed?
Yeah.
The service that I go to, am I just looking to get something out of it versus
giving it up,
giving something to God? Because it is a worship service.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be directed toward Him, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, ideas? I don't know, just something I've been sitting on for a bit.
Thoughts? I just go back to the conversation that you and I had recently, not just you and I, it was amongst other people, but this idea of, am I spending time with God to spend time with God? Or am I trying to gain more knowledge so that I can spit it out and give it in Bible studies at church, on the podcast with other dudes, maybe knowing Christ or don't know Christ? So,
just spending time and just being grateful that He was patient with me.
Right.
Sometimes I need that reminder. What prevents you? Actually, hold on. Before we back up. Actually, not before we back up. We're going to back up. Back to the verse. He says, rejoice, pray, give thanks. Knowing how Paul writes, he's very intentional about his words. Do you think there's a link between the thanksgiving, gratitude, and joy? Like, are they tied together? Do you think so? Why or why not?
Joy and gratitude.
We're having lots of deep thinking going on in the room right now.
I don't know that I can speak to it.
Yeah.
Hand in hand.
Yeah, I can't give the why or why not, or the why, but I think they definitely are
Sure.
tied together.
I'm I'm stuck on rejoice and joy. And the reason for that is I feel like joy is a response.
Sure.
Cole, if you would have brought in Andy's tonight for all of us, that would have brought me joy.
Oh,
Like
we
that.
should go after.
Or would it just be happiness?
Say that again.
Or would it just be happiness?
that's
Or just happiness, right?
But
Sure.
you're not the same.
True. Joy and happiness.
Joy and
No.
happiness? Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Happiness is circumstantial. So this happens, therefore I become
Yeah.
happy. Joy is what he's talking. Rejoice
Mm.
always. Like it is a
fruit of the spirit.
it is something
Right.
that is permeating through you no matter what the circumstance
Right.
is.
Mm. Yeah. And so along the same lines, I was thinking like rejoice. Maybe it's happiness, but like rejoice or joy.
Yeah. Now, if I had an
There's-
Andy's Cup in my hand like all day, that might be joy.
Right.
The repercussions of that
Would not be good.
are 100-fold, brother.
Yeah, by the end of the day, I would not be thankful.
Oh man, we definitely have to go after this though. Anyway, no.
Anyway, sorry, George.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just thinking about what if gratitude is the action call that Paul is trying to remind us to tie it into joy. Like because we are practicing or actioning our day to day with gratitude towards God, with that comes joy in the midst of anxiety, fear. Because oh man, I can circle over the same thought over and over and over again. So,
and I think gratitude can break those cycles.
Mhm.
I think when you've created that rhythm of gratitude, like you, Cole, even in tough things, you say you've been able to find a silver lining no matter what. And I think that's not something everybody's able to do, but it helps you have a positive attitude through the hard stuff for sure, which could be joy. Like I do think they're tied together. What prevents you from being grateful?
I can't not just circle back to that instant gratification that is so structured into society and the world in 2025. That instant gratification, the lack of having to wait for something, the busyness, always going.
The woe is me attitude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we already talked about one of them too, is entitlement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm owed this.
Yeah.
Right? So the opposite of woe is me, back to I should have this.
Yeah.
What about the pace of life?
Mm-hmm.
Like just running too fast.
Right.
To where we don't even have the ability to like stop and think.
Yeah. Our head's just over our feet the whole time.
Yeah.
In front of our feet the whole
Absolutely.
time. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if some listeners are thinking about work.
Ooh.
Like work. I have to work 40 hours a week. Some people work 8 to 5. Some people do work remote. And I know I've got brothers and uncles who are working like 12-hour days. And so that's most of your day, if not all of it.
Get home and you're beat.
Yeah. And I was waiting for you to bring this up, Billy, but I just can't not
Go for it.
bring this up. There's a book, Not Practicing the Way, but The Practice of the Presence of God. And it's by Brother Lawrence. And he used to have a dishwasher job. And this is a quote, and this is how he would begin his work days every day. And so, quote, "At the beginning of my duties, I would say to the Lord with confidence, 'My God, since you are with me, and since by your will I must occupy myself with external things, please grant me the grace to remain with you in your presence. Work with me so that my work might be the very best. Receive as an offering of love both my work and all my affections. At the end of my work, I used to examine it carefully. If I found good in it, I thanked God. If I noticed faults, I asked his forgiveness without being discouraged, and then went on with my work, still dwelling in him.'" Man, I don't do that every day.
Like tattoo that on my forehead so I can read it.
Yeah, right?
Man, that's a good one.
So good.
I certainly don't have that attitude.
Yeah.
No.
Nor do I take the time to examine it always.
Yeah.
Now there's times where I'm like, oh crap, I could have handled that situation a little bit better.
Mhm.
But like, do I take the time? Like, you know what? Today was a good day of work.
Right.
God, thank you for the skills and abilities for me to be able to do this.
Mhm.
Like, that does not happen. I'll be straight up with you guys. Like that is not happening.
Right.
Yeah, I love that prayer.
I've been doing something with work. I do like a physical on a notebook checklist that I try to like check off every day, or every week. And right next to the date, I'll put like, "Thank you, Jesus," or "Be more patient." Like just kind of the quote of the day for myself to go back to. Mm-hmm. I put that at the top of the sheet. So I don't know. Maybe some listeners need a little pointer on somewhere to like go back to every day.
Absolutely. I got sticky notes all over my desk.
Yeah.
I have like Bible verses or things that I learned. So I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I think kind of leads us into just the last place we want to just spend a little bit of time, which is what are some things I can actually do? Like, I know we like practical application, not necessarily always necessary, but I do think like, what are some things that in this instance, if I'm like, I want to be really intentional about this, what are some ways that I could start to cultivate an attitude of gratitude?
I think at the end of the day, you could do a high and a low for yourself. Praise God for the high, pray for the low.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. You can even, if you have little kids love that.
Yeah.
The dude around the dinner table or something like that. They love to tell you about their day, especially, or if you have older kids that are like, "Hey, how's your day?" "Good." "Anything else?" "No."
I've with a daughter that's in middle school now, I like to ask, "Who'd you sit by at lunch? Did you find somebody that was sitting by themselves?"
Yeah.
Like those kind of questions. And she really opens up on the entire day.
Yeah.
Just based on a lunch question. Mm-hmm. So after she spent $9 on a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
That wasn't worth $9.
No. Yeah. Thank you.
Not great for that.
Yeah, I know. Thanks a lot.
Oh, no, I like that. What's cool is you can turn it into a prayer too at the end. Like if it's at dinner, you can turn the highs into, gratitude moments and pray over the parts that were low.
Yeah.
Which I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'd say stay connected to some good people, because you could be having a horrible day and they'll quickly remind you that there's things to be had.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. Community.
Community.
We maybe we beat the dead horse on here, but guys, lock in on the community. We promise it'll be good for you.
Yes.
We promise.
Yeah, I got to talk to a guy at work today who he doesn't work for Microsoft. He works for one of the customers that we serve. And it was really cool. I got connected to him through somebody on my team. And he was just kind of telling me his story. And he's got baptized in December of this past year. And he's just talked about this transformation that he's had. And he got plugged into a Bible study. And he's like, I got this group of guys around me that like know me. And he's like, I've never had this before. Like, it's just different. Oh, wow. And I was just,
isn't that crazy how that's so different for so many people?
I had goosebumps going down my body. And he actually started listening to this. So if you ever listen to this, you know who I'm talking about right now. Thank you for the time today. The conversation was awesome, but also just so encouraged by how God is working, and listening to the gratitude in his life of having these guys that come and surround him, which I just think is so cool. One of the other ones I heard, and I don't remember if we talked about this on the last one either, is there's like a Guinness Book of World Record for consecutive days where you are you write down something that you're grateful for and you don't repeat it. Whoa. You don't ever repeat the same thing. Wow. And I don't remember what, I mean, I think it's a lady.
Is it
it's like years.
Books and books of journals.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to say it's like somewhere between like 7 and 10 years. She's picked one thing every day that she writes down and she hasn't repeated anything.
7 to 10 years?
I was like 30. I was like, I'm not that grateful.
Yeah. I mean,
got work to do, fellas.
I know. But talk about
down to like I have good skin.
Sure. Like, I mean, yeah.
I'm not bald. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Cody.
I love you, Cody.
But talk about something that makes you...
Humidity doesn't affect it.
Yeah. Cody never
Grateful.
has bad hair
Grateful.
days. Cody never has bad hair days. Something to be grateful for.
There we go. Boom.
Unless it grows, then it looks funny.
But talk about something that you have to be. I mean, I've got to imagine by
Very intentional.
I don't know, day 30.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to really think about some
Yeah.
things. But
I would like to see that journal.
I would too.
Yeah.
It's a stack of books.
Yeah.
It's like boxes full of books.
Wow.
That's wild.
Like,
It is.
And they show some excerpts of what
Do they?
it literally
Okay.
is like I'm thankful for,
Okay.
But I mean,
Thankful for this coffee mug.
Exactly.
better not having it, I guess, right?
Yeah. True.
Mhm.
But I mean, it really that challenged me. If that's
Yeah.
a scale of 100 being grateful or 1,000, shoot, I'm not even out of the
Right.
single digits.
Squirrel moment. But speaking of the coffee mug, I got a sweet coffee mug in Alaska. It's called a hug mug.
See,
Ooh.
now you have a coffee
I'm
mug to be grateful
I'm
for.
so grateful for that mug, dude. You put your fingers inside it.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I've
send
seen
you a
these.
pic- Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Man.
Yeah.
Hug.
But you hold it and you hug it.
Yeah.
So it's oh,
It's because you're cold and it not only
Yeah.
melts your hands but your body.
exactly.
Grateful for warmth.
Yeah, but I mean, it's things like that it sounds silly, but why not be grateful for them?
Exactly.
Why not actually say, I'm grateful for this coffee mug?
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I have coffee in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful that I woke up this morning.
I'm grateful that I walk.
Yeah, and I have a coffee maker, and I have coffee grounds,
Yeah.
and I have water. I have you think about all the things I have electricity. If unless you're a French press person,
Yeah.
guess those don't take.
Boo.
Boo.
Good.
Hey, I'm not knocking. I have two of them at home, so
Love it.
Nice.
But I mean,
I had
you
one
start-
for 2 years I didn't touch, and now I can't not make
No, not touch it.
it.
Oh, really?
It's just a good cup of coffee.
No,
I've never had French press.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't drink
I got coffees on me next time.
Okay. Perfect.
I prefer tea.
Ooh, I like
Got that too.
We have those too. But yeah, I mean, when you start going through that, we just a simple analogy. We just took
Mhm.
having coffee in the morning. We just came up with 6 things.
Yeah.
But it forced us to think through all the components of that
Yeah.
rather than all the different things. So with that, listeners, thank you again. We know that you could be doing anything else. You could be listening to anything else. And we just appreciate you taking the time again, being grateful for the people that do listen to us. We hope you gathered something from this, found something to be intentional as you just navigate your own and maybe start or continue or pick back up or whatever that looks like, your gratitude journey. So again, thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.